China is not satisfied with just dominating the Earth and now the Moon. They want to conquer the entire solar system by the year 2100. But how are they going to do that? Before we dive into that, let me ask you a question. Do you think China's plan to take over the solar system is a good thing or a bad thing for humanity? Let me know your answer in the comments below. And stay tuned until the end of the video because I have a shocking revelation that will blow your mind. China is not only a global power on Earth, but also a rising star in space. It's done some amazing things like landing a rover on the Moon's secret side, sending robots to Mars, and launching its own space station. But these are just practice runs for China's grand plan for space. Wang Wei, a Chinese space scientist, has proposed a 4-stage roadmap for China to build a space resource network that would stretch the entire solar system by 2100. This network would allow China to tap into the limitless wealth of space for its greatness and prosperity. Of course, China is not doing this for selfish reasons. It's doing this for the benefit of all humanity. And by humanity, we mean China. The proposal is titled Tiangong Kaiwu, which means the exploitation of the works of nature. Sounds very poetic and respectful, doesn't it? It's inspired by a book of the same name written by Song Yingxing, who was like the Leonardo da Vinci of ancient China, lived in the Ming Dynasty, the golden age of China that spanned for centuries. He recorded various technologies and inventions that made China a great civilization. Following the example of Song Yingxing, Wang Wei said that while the Europeans who discovered new lands and riches in the great age of navigation, the Chinese will discover new wonders and wealth in the great space age with the use of space resources. He said that this will create the next miracles in the history of human development and bring new prosperity to human civilization. But what exactly does this plan entail? And how will it affect the rest of the world? And what if something goes wrong? Well, you're about to find out. According to Wang Wei, the first stage of the plan is to explore and mine water ice resources on the Moon by 2025. Water ice is very valuable in space because it can be separated into hydrogen and oxygen and used as a propellant for rockets and spacecraft. By establishing water ice resource development facilities on the Moon, China hopes to reduce the cost of launching missions from the Earth and create a lunar base for further exploration. Now you might be wondering, how does China plan to mine water ice on the Moon? Well, it's not as easy as it sounds. In fact, it's one of the most challenging and risky missions ever attempted by any country. And you won't believe what they're going to use to do it. Can you guess what it is? Any ideas? Well, I'll tell you what it is in just a moment, but first, let me tell you about the second stage of China's plan. The second stage of the plan is to spread to near-Earth asteroids, Mars, main belt asteroids, and the moons of Jupiter by 2050. These places have many resources that can be useful for space or Earth. China also plans to connect these places with supply routes and chains. They'll use special points in space where the gravity is balanced. These points are good for putting satellites, stations, or depots. They have names like Earth-Moon Lagrange Point 1, Sun-Earth L1 and L2, Ceres, and Sun-Jupiter L1. You don't need to remember these names, just know that China has a plan for everything. But why stop there? China has bigger plans for the solar system. The third stage of the plan is to utilize the resources of Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and their moons by 2075. These outer planets and their satellites have abundant reserves of methane, ammonia, nitrogen, and other organic compounds that could be used as fuel or raw materials for chemical synthesis. China also wants to see if it can change some of these worlds to make them more like Earth for humans or other creatures. And finally, the fourth and final stage of the plan is to make the whole solar system China's backyard by 2100. This would involve building a lot of stuff in space, such as supply stations, transportation routes, mining and processing stations, and even colonies on different planets and moons. China also hopes to work with other countries and organizations in this project, as well as do science and culture stuff in space. And now, as promised, I have some interesting facts for you that will surprise you. Remember the water ice resources that China is going to mine on the Moon? Well, they're not going to use salt to do it. That wouldn't work. In fact, salt raises the melting point of ice, not lowers it. So how does China plan to mine water ice on the moon? You might be amazed by their creative solution. China plans to use a robotic arm with a drill and a scoop to collect the ice samples from the lunar surface. The robotic arm will be mounted on a rover that can move around the lunar poles, where the water ice is most abundant and accessible. The drill will be able to penetrate up to 1 meter deep into the regolith, where the ice is mixed with dust and rocks. The scoop will be able to transfer the ice samples to a container for analysis and processing. And China also plans to use a solar-powered device that can heat up the ice samples and vaporize the water, which can then be condensed and stored in tanks. Pretty clever, huh? But wait, there's more. China is not the only one who has big dreams for space. There are many other players who want a piece of the space pie. For example, NASA has a program called Artemis that aims to land humans on the moon by 2024 and establish a sustainable presence there by 2028. And there are several private companies such as SpaceX, Blue Origin, and Planetary Resources that are developing technologies and vehicles for asteroid mining and colonization. So what does this mean for future space exploration? Will there be enough resources for everyone? Will we all enjoy the space buffet, or will we starve on the leftovers? Who will be the boss of space? And who will keep an eye on the mess we make? These are some of the burning questions that we need to answer before we ruin another planet. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified of our future videos. These things might sound repetitive, but they are very important for the growth of the channel. Thanks again. By the way, Russia crashed on the moon, and we already guessed it before it happened. Well, kind of. Click here to watch it. We'll see you next time with more exciting and shocking videos. Until then, stay curious and keep looking up.